Folks, we are live. Wow, look at that. Apparently now you need a premium account to go live on X. Oh, well, I guess that ain't happening. We will remove the X. There we go. So, folks, welcome to Gamers Health. Yeah, I know. We had all this stuff planned, and then like an hour and a half ago, the world went to shit.
Yeah,
So,
kind of in shock
yeah, yeah.
that something like that can happen.
Well, you know what? I am not 100% in shock that something like
I
that
mean,
can
in this
happen.
day and age, and like with what he brings to the table, like his own secret service and all
Oh,
that.
he didn't have that is on Secret Service. That's government Secret Service.
Yes, that's his secret service that he has
Oh,
for life.
okay. Oh, I thought you were talking. Well, yeah. Well, he has for
That's
life.
his, and no
Um,
matter what he does, he that's his.
True. So, uh, well, I am
But
looking at
my goodness,
our live viewers, and wow, we are essentially talking to ourselves at the moment because,
yeah,
and it makes sense. Honestly,
there's a
it
lot of
makes sense.
shit happening, man.
Listen,
I'd want to know about
whether
what happened.
whether you are pro Trump or anti Trump, whether you are pro Biden or anti Biden, um, elections are not supposed to be decided by removing a candidate from the board.
Yeah.
And that was the attempt that we just had today. And there's no other way to spin it. It wasn't like some rando smuggled a gun into a rally
Mm-hmm.
to celebrate. That's not what happened
No.
today.
And it's probably not the reason why they won't pay for Secret Service coverage for RFK either.
RFK, he should certainly have Secret
Mm-hmm.
Service coverage. But hey, Don, how are you? So, a few for those that my father just came back from military testing like 5 minutes ago, right before we went live, and he had no idea what happened. He walked
Oh
through the door.
man,
My mother hits him with this, and he's like,
Trump got shot.
and
Right?
my mother's
Not
like,
explaining that.
well, yeah, my mother's like, my father's like, what? Like, what? He got randomly shot, and two others were shot, and he's like, I had to explain to my father that Trump was the target. This is what's happening. Um,
This is what we're living in.
yeah. Now I am old enough to remember when Reagan got shot,
I remember that too.
and what was his press secretary Brady?
Yes, that poor fella.
Yeah. Um, Don, I was talking with Wampler when it hit my feed. I
Oh.
I got I had just spent some time with Rach in the backyard. I'm picking tomatoes and cucumbers. Rach is picking blackberries, and I come in and I'm giving all this stuff to my mother so she can do with it as she will. And I look at my phone and it says Trump injured at rally, and I'm like, what? But the moment I saw the picture, I and
Yeah.
but and as an aside, my first homicide crime scene that they sent me to as a rookie was somebody shot in their head. Uh, Blood from the head generally is darker.
And
It
it
has
comes out
it
faster.
comes out faster. I think I could see in the one picture that there's a chunk of his ear missing.
Yeah.
But again, like I said, whether you are pro Trump or I don't know, a huge anti-Trumper, never Trumper, whatever they call the extremes, this isn't a good thing for this country.
Mm-mm.
It's not a good thing for any country. And
It's just kind of a testament to how third world we're becoming.
I was about to say something along those
Oh, I'm
lines.
sorry.
You know, yeah, Don says there's no room for this kind of crap in the world.
Yeah.
Seriously. But I mean, the stakes in 2024 and the way everything has been lined up, it set things up for people to have a certain expectation on either side.
And honestly, why is it there? It's like, yeah, none of us like paying top dollar for everything, and having our money stretch less. Like that's what we should be getting worried about.
Right. It should be, it's the economy, damn it.
Mm-hmm.
But instead, it's personalities. And I know, we really haven't discussed this, but I guess this is going to be part of the discussion for today because it's so topical. On the Democratic side, there's been a huge discussion about whether or not Biden should run for president. And I'm not going to get into whether he should or he shouldn't. That's certainly not a decision made on my level, and I have no input. But the reality is, going into November, and I've said this part already, things are going to ramp up. I didn't think this way. I just thought there would be greater assholeness on social media, right? Social media, people are going to come out and go, Biden's a fucking potato, Trump's a Yahtzee, and all this other bogus bullshit that goes back and forth. And the reality is, social media does not change the minds of anyone.
Mm-mm.
It doesn't. You get into an argument with someone on social media, they've already made their decision. Okay? You are literally talking to a wall. I need to learn that. I got people go, oh, this is clickbait, and somebody needs to say when they're speculating. It's like, well, gee, if you watch the video states I'm speculating about Kyle Brinks and why he is no longer employed at WotC. But people don't dig into it. Nobody wants to understand the real issues. Everybody wants to get stuck on the emotional aspect, and that's literally what's going on with this. Now, I will say from my experience working presidential details and working the UN detail, there's no way a gun should have been able to get in. No way a gun should have been able to get in. So my initial assumption was it was somebody shooting from a distance. And instead,
it sounded from a distance too. Yeah, like it was muffled somewhere.
But you can't judge that, Rach, because you don't know which microphone's picking it up from.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
You can't judge it like that unless you're there.
Gotcha.
So, so when you watch the video and you hear those gunshots come out, I got emotional. I got upset. They were saying it was reported from. They were reporting it was from outside the perimeter. Okay.
Oh.
They were saying that they got I heard conflicting stories that they got a shooter that was nearby, and then they got somebody that was in a tree. So I don't know.
Yeah, that sounds like if they think they can do this from that far, they have to have some good.
Well,
they
got to have some good skills. It doesn't necessarily.
Like this somebody sniper.
Well, or an extremely good hunter. I mean,
no.
Rach, if you're taking down a buck at a distance in the woods with trees around, you got to be skilled at that. I'm not saying it's got to be a military person, but it wasn't somebody like, I don't know, me, who's never fired a long arm, picking up a gun at Walmart and going, I'm going to out the president. I'm going to take him out. That's not what happened. Somebody had a plan. Somebody, I mean, and it
was somebody well trained, and
again, whether they were well trained by military force or police force or on their own. Again,
I don't know.
Some people are just naturally good shots, but you have to be taking shots to know that you're naturally good and skilled at it. So it is very upsetting. It is very nerve-wracking. And I don't like getting emotional over stuff. And I do know that if I was still working, I wouldn't have gotten emotional because I would have pent it all in.
Sure. But it's like a very scary thing because it's like, really, we're here, in this whole thing. Like,
this is
vote what you're gonna vote, and that's all you can control.
Right. This
otherwise, vote what you vote. It's out of your hands.
Right. And that's what represents. Remember, the whole
Engage in debate, all good things.
We are a republic. We are a republic with 3 separations of power, right? The executive branch, the judicial branch, and the legislative branch. And this is supposed to be the checks and balances that are built in. Whether people are going around and screaming that Biden should be 25 because he's no longer mentally fit, or the other side where people are going around saying that Trump is the next Fuhrer and all rights, those two extremes should do us all a favor and self-delete. Honestly, because those are the extremes.
Because those are not true.
Yeah, neither side is listen, the extremes are just working off of the energies that they can work off of. But that's why you get incidents like today. And it's a real damn shame. I mean, listen, whether you like the guy or you hate him, we got an innocent person who was killed with apparently their family with them.
Witnessing it. Yeah.
You know, a second person, I believe, shot. One shooter removed from this world, but doesn't mean there wasn't another. There was a number of shots that went off. So
it sounded like there was at least 8.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't watch
it. Probably 3 initial, and I thought I
counted there was
5
3
on the end.
3 in rapid succession. Yes. It could be too that the only reason why Trump was shot in the ear and not the head is that he was moving his head when he got shot,
which is great.
And and for those that are wondering why, whoever the shooter was didn't go for the body mass, Trump is likely wearing body armor. Okay. And anybody who's going to take an act like this probably knows that. Yeah. Don, for me, it does not matter who you support. Don't be a dick to me, my friends, and you're allowed to support who you want. Yeah. Yes. And that's the whole thing.
And I'll listen to you. I'll even entertain you. Like, I'll be like, oh, so how come you feel that way? And I'll listen to whatever you have to say. You know?
Yeah. I mean,
you have a different view for a reason.
I'm just going to repeat this. This year, if you're an American, okay, if you are living in the United States, the next 4 months, 3.5 months are going to be rough. All right. Now, I'm not going to say that you got to walk around with your head on a swivel, but usually where there is smoke, there is fire. When something like this happens this early in the campaign system, we haven't even had the conventions yet. I mean, usually if people get worked up, they get worked up around the convention that hasn't even happened yet. So don't be surprised, in my totally unprofessional opinion, if there are other, we might not hear about them. They might get stopped. That's usually why, like, the Secret Service is very good at what they do and sniffing this stuff out. Again, I'm surprised this happened, but this is what they're paid for, to stop this. So God willing and God bless, nothing reaches this event level again. So if we move on from some of that, let's see. Rachel's done more physical therapy for her arthritic knees. And honestly, I can tell going for walks with Rach how her knees are doing based upon our pace, because I will look at the pace on the watch and go, hey, you're pacing a bit better than you were, or how are you feeling? Okay. And making sure Rach doesn't push herself. Yeah. Rach, now I got a question for you, Rach. Like, when did you figure out again that you were working out too much on your own?
Last week.
Okay. Has it been better since you've not, like, re-injured yourself?
Well, I think depends on the day, really.
Well, yeah, the weather in New York has been really spastic. It's been really rough. And you get threats of rain that don't actually rain, so the humidity doesn't leave the air. You don't get a relief from it.
Yeah, there's been a lot of humidity here.
Yeah.
So I don't know if maybe that, or like, but also like, also like getting to like understand, your pain is something. So like, I've been trying to look at sort of like, oh, okay, there's tension there, like there's like maybe a pulling or like stiffness or something, and sort of like, how is that different than just straight up pain? when I have it. And so that's what, today was a good day because it was like more the stiffness that was there.
Right.
And so I was like, okay, well, we just, keep going and, step securely and yeah, just keep going and like, no, nothing is bad, and that you should be walking, that you should be moving.
So Rach and I have so many doctor's appointments coming up over the next 2 months that I literally had to put together a sheet. And then, of course, you have Rachel's physical therapy appointments on top of that. Because here's the thing. When you got all these doctor's appointments, you get conflicts.
My social life.
You get conflicts, right? It's like, oh my God. So I had to do this to make sure we weren't conflicting and to be able to make sure we could plan out when we want to go and head out to the Poconos or stuff. So, yeah. No, we got 1, 2.
You have one at the end of the month, right?
I got
the first one we completed.
No, I got 2. I got the podiatrist and the endocrinologist.
2 of them. Okay.
2 more in a month. And we got Pop's appointment next week, and then you've got 1, 2, 3, 4 appointments in August, and yes. I've got 1, 2 in August. It's adequate. I couldn't do this if I wasn't retired.
No, I couldn't either.
I was like
I couldn't find out because on the 1st of August, I'm going to go and see a rheumatoologist to see if my arthritis is coming from just regular osteoarthritis or if it's the rheumatoid arthritis, because I was noticing that my arthritis that I have is in the hips, in the knees, and now, it's in both hands, but not bad in the hands, and wrists. But it's there. Like I'll do my makeup or I'll, do certain manual things, with my hands, and I'll notice I'll get stuck. My thumb or like my wrist will just get stuck. I'll have to unlock it somehow. So like those were the fact that I have it in both sides and that the wrists are involved were sort of clues that maybe it could be rheumatoid, but thank God there is blood tests and stuff that they can do to check. So I will see them on the 1st, and they will help me sort it out.
Right.
If it's just straight up osteo, I'll, I know what to do. But if it's rheumatoid, there's other things that you have to do. Because rheumatoid arthritis is it's an autoimmune issue that causes your immunity to attack your cartilage. So, it can get worse. So you want to respond to that and take certain medications that usually they give you medications that could dampen your immunity a little bit to save the cartilage, and then they just help you maintain yourself and do that kind of stuff. But we will see. Hopefully not.
Well, it's literally taking it one day at a time.
Yes, and it's I kind of had this idea. I was like, I was reading about it, and so before I saw my cancer doctor on Friday, my oncologist.
That was yesterday.
Yeah, I said, let me look and see what doctors are around, and so I picked another doctor through NYU, and I saw that they had an August 1st appointment. I was like, wow, that's a hard specialty to get. Let me jump on that. So I jumped on it and I said, well, let me just talk about it with the cancer doctor and make sure that, that's the right thing to do. That it's, that it's not me being crazy.
You're crazy.
So I told her that I made this appointment, And then I said, I am perfectly open to canceling it if you think I'm, sort of over, shooting that, or like, putting too much into thinking about that. So I said, I'm happy to cancel it if you think it's not a good idea. And she's like, no, it's totally reasonable that, you would question, what is this? So
okay.
Yeah, let's look at that and, let's see. And then if not, she has medications that she can give to help with the joints, and, we'll keep going from there.
Big money,
yeah.
big money, big money. Welcome, Mr. Gunn. Welcome, Tom. Mr. Gunn, how are you, Mrs. Rach and Mr. Erik? Personally, we're doing fine.
Yes.
I think the
by God's grace.
Yeah, I think the country took a hell of a shot to the nuts today. Could have been a lot worse, but we'll call it a glancing. Excuse me, we'll call it a glancing blow. But it's just, I guess we have to take a moment to rethink our worldviews, our views of politics in this country, and not what happened yesterday. What happened today, Mr. Gunn? Trump was shot in the ear. An attendee at his rally in Reading, Pennsylvania, I believe it was killed. Another Butler, Pennsylvania. Another was killed. Another was injured, and I believe the shooter.
Was taken out.
No, I said the country took a shot in the nuts, not the ass. We took it. It's one of those glancing blows where you go, "Oh man, that could have been so much worse."
Yes, my God.
And it's hard. Listen, for the family that lost a family member today, I am without words.
Yeah,
I am literally without words. Yes, yeah.
Yeah, how has things gone so low?
Well, I mean, listen, you have to remember that assassination attempts in this country go back a long time. Okay, Lincoln was assassinated. Kennedy was assassinated. Teddy Roosevelt was shot during, I guess we call it a rally these days. I believe he was shot in his chest, but it hit the I think the silver cigar holder he had. So the bullet still went into it pierced the skin, but it got mostly blocked, and he was bleeding. And he continued. He went, yeah, all right. Well, I got to get. That's why he calls him.
Like, fuck that.
I guess that's why he was the bull moose.
Keep going.
Yeah.
I'm not done.
Yeah, Garfield was assassinated. That's right.
Yeah.
So this history.
There were attempts on Reagan.
There was attempts on Reagan. There are other
and Ford.
But there are other. This country was birthed by violence, right? This company was kept together by violence. So
what are you trying to say? This is just like some kind of quickening, some kind of growing pain for us to become a better country?
Maybe. Okay. Maybe this is going to be the shock to the system, but people can look at the political atmosphere of 2024 and go, holy shit, how did we take it this far? Right? Maybe this is that holy shit moment. Maybe we need that. Maybe we need that kick in the ass. Because now, and I'll be painfully honest, and I'm going to just say this: whether the president's been Republican or Democrat, I've never liked the president that we've had. But it make a difference which way you are. Every president we've had, some are good, some are bad, but overall, that generally doesn't make a lick of difference in my personal life. For the most part, okay. So why are we killing a man, or trying to? Why are we killing an innocent in the crowd?
Yes.
Over politics. Oh man, I'm beginning to think that they should decide this by a golf game, like they were arguing about at the debate. Two old men can go out there carrying their own golf clubs and decide who's going to lead this country by a game of golf. But 18 holes, not just 9.
Well, my dad wanted to solve the troubles in Northern Ireland with a soccer game. That doesn't sound different.
Yeah, well, I guess. David, hello. Mr. Gunn, we don't seem to be able to agree to disagree. No, and that's
that's the problem.
That's a huge part of the problem. Right? And as much as social media and things like YouTube and everything else gives to us, it's taken away our ability to communicate with each other on an actual personal level, as
That's
opposed to talking at each other. I mean, one of the reasons why Rach and I do this on Saturday night is to interact with you all. I'm not talking like a fucking pundit and giving my opinions or covering the news, and we're not here talking about game stuff. We're talking with you about life events. Today, the life event is that somebody tried to assassinate Donald Trump, right? But this Saturday night, Gamers Health is something that's much different than most of the internet, most of the interwebs. Most of it is, listen, I cover news. I'll do my 8 to 10, 12 minutes on a news story, and I'm not getting feedback. We're looking for feedback from you all because this is real life. All right. Hearing about Rach and I's day, that's real life. And her doctor visits, my doctor visits, our garden, the president or the ex president getting shot. This is real life. This is what most of the internet is not about. It's not. It's not. Uh, David, how long before the witches on a View claimed Trump hired the gunman himself to gain sympathy and support?
Those cackling.
There's going to be some that will claim that. I am quite sure.
I'm sure.
And they're gonna.
Yeah, I was wondering what the spin would be.
Yeah. Tom, factionism in politics mirrors the factionism in the hobby and addiction wars.
Oh, that's true.
Not just that. It applies to religion. It applies to different Christian faiths that are all splintering, right? Because they've all got irreconcilable differences, and that's what this always is, right? It's irreconcilable differences, not because the two sides are so far apart. It's because
the establishment and whatever else.
Well, everybody is talking, but no one is listening. Okay, and that's what the internet generally is. Somebody talks, you read the first two words, what the asshole is saying, and then you respond, you're an asshole because you're an asshole. And they respond, well, you're the bigger asshole. You're stupid. You're wrong. And that's what politics has become. Done. Exactly, Eric. And I say knowing you on a personal level.
So it's evolved into a playground.
Yeah, you never talk like you're in a soapbox. You're always fair and level-headed. Tom, hating others for disagreeing with you. Mr. Gunn, Dave, I take it you don't like the View. Mr. Gunn, kind of like we were talking about last night, we cannot just disagree on a point of policy. We cannot just agree on a point of policy and still be friends. Exactly. And you know, I read an article and it was about Tulsi Gabbard, but forget about the part about Tulsi. It was also about how people, politicians, social media influencers, all these, and it comes back to what we're going to talk about in a little bit too, or even now, the value of authenticity. When you're dealing with Rach and I on Gamers Health, you are dealing with as authentic a view of us as we can give you without sitting down with you at a table at a bar or over dice and D&D. All right? You're not going to get much purer essence of us. All right? But there's still this camera and there's still this, all right, don't say stupid shit filter that goes on, because maybe you say stupid shit after a few drinks, but you're not going to say it on a video. But the article was saying that even people like Joe Rogan, who come off as very authentic because they are being themselves,
yes,
that's still a bit of a face that is put on because you are dealing with multiple people that are going to see you from their own perspectives and these multiple views, and you in your subconscious you're trying to put on the more likable, less offensive. That's my son calling me to tell me the president was shot, or the Trump was shot. I'm sure that was Chris. He knows we do this live stream, so he's calling for that. He probably just found out about it. But being your authentic self is not necessarily easy. All right, when I started with my own podcast, I was a little conscious of my uh, New York accent, and I decided to get that newscaster voice going, where I was going to be very non-regional in my American accent, or at least I thought I was. And honestly, I did 2 episodes like that, and I realized, holy shit! First off, it was a pain in the ass, and secondly, it wasn't me. And if you are going to like me, love me, or hate me, I want you to do it for who I am. I don't want you to do it because, oh, well, this is the show we put on. This is the persona. Listen, we know a lot of talking heads on YouTube that put on personas, right? In the gaming community. Do I want to embarrass them by naming them? No, you can name them in the chat. I'm not going to name them. But you know what I'm talking about. If you met them at a gaming convention or at a bar, they'd be a totally different person. There is something to be said to being the authentic you, or as authentic as you can be.
Yeah, we're sent here to honor our authentic selves and be the best we can be with, the hand that we're given, and meant to make that matter.
Mm-hmm. Okay, Tom, that was Reagan meeting a newly elected Democrat to Congress. This rep self-depreciatingly referred to him and Reagan as enemies, and Reagan corrected him, saying, "Not after 5 p.m. After 5, we have a beer." And there is something to humor, right? I crack jokes way too often. I'm going to be the first to admit it. And my timing is sometimes off, or just the time. That's not the time for that joke, Eric. It's too soon. Too soon. But that's the authentic me. All right. I crack stupid jokes. That is about as authentic Eric Tenkar, Eric Stina as you're going to get. And honestly, whether I am Eric Tenkar or Eric Stina, I am the same person. It's just that people got to know me as Tenkar when I had to hide my blogging, my social media from the job. I was still trying to be the authentic me. Now, I've yet to. I think people that have met me in person have almost always said something to the effect of, "Wow, you're just like your videos. Oh, you sound just like your Spotify Anchor account or whatever it is." And that's because I don't put on a show. There may be times when I rant, and when I rant, if you've ever seen me rant in person, Rach has. My rant in person is the same rant you're going to see online. Theatrics and all, raising the voice, and that's authentic me. I don't know. Excuse me. I don't know if I had the energy to be an inauthentic me. Do you know what I'm saying, Rach?
It's work to be someone else.
I mean,
like there's certain things that are socially appropriate, certain ways that we act at work, but being true to our values and true to ourselves, and true to our beliefs and stuff, we might not be as out there with like zany language or um, other things like that, but you know, still pretty true to self. It's sort of like when you aren't, that's where the trouble comes.
Yeah, I mean, I'm I'm the I am the jackass that always wanted to go over the radio when I was working in the 4-1 precinct as a patrol cop before I got promoted. I want to come in one day, and my sergeant wouldn't let me do it because I wanted to come in, and I was like, Sarge, I want you to put me in 4-1 Charlie, sector Charlie, sector C. Why? So I can go on the radio for mealtime and go, 1 Charlie Central, 1 Charlie. Show me nipping out to the pub for a wee bit. And he's like, I will fucking kill you. I was like, oh, but John, it would be so funny. I will fucking kill you. So I never got to do it. But that is the sense of humor. And I had a sense of humor before I was a cop. Cop humor is a little bit off. Rachel's seen it.
Right.
It's a little bit morbid. Mm-hmm. So my humor is adjusted. But when you interact with people, all right, you want to be accepted for who you are. Because once you start living the lie, once you start putting on a persona that is not you, that is not authentic, that is not real, you're either stuck role playing some part in life that isn't you, or you will trip over it, and then the facade comes down, and then you're not what people expected.
Right. Well, and also you'll go through life feeling not accepted anyway because they're accepting something that you're putting out there that's fake.
Right.
And then, that whole feeling of like being imposter syndrome and, not feeling good enough, I think that's the reason why people use personas. And, that's really unfortunate when people feel like they're not enough.
So
and it takes a long time to work through that. With different people's backgrounds and experience.
Yep. So, Tom, you know what? I feel better already having turned off the news to listen to Gamers Health. Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Gunn, I don't watch TV. I only do online. Rach and I hardly watch any commercial TV. Most of what we watch is on demand. Even for this, what did I do, Rach? I turned on YouTube and I went to the channels that usually give us breaking news, and it was one of the pundits, I guess you could say, that we like to watch, was covering was watching a live feed.
He had a live of a live of the
so I had
debate.
I had a
not debate,
not
the rally.
So I had to rewind to find the actual feed of when it happened. I was like, damn. Mr. Gunn, totally agree with you. You want to be accepted for who you are, but everyone wears a series of masks. Work, home, public. Yes, they do. But you can still be the authentic. There's that mask. It's not you tune yourself like how I would present myself at work as a cop.
Right. We'll bring.
You got to play a role.
Qualities.
Right. I'm not going to crack jokes with the person that I pulled over for taking a light. I'm not going to start cracking random jokes with them. Because that's inappropriate. But like again, the mask here is my actual face. I don't need to put on a mask because if I put on a mask, honestly, I wouldn't like me. I happen to like myself. I know, against my better judgment, against other people. People like, man, I hate Tenkar. How can anybody how can he live with himself being so Tenkarian or some crap like that? I'm sure there's going to be a word at some point. How can he live with himself? Well, very easily. Because I actually happen to like myself. I am not perfect and far from it. I will be the first person to say it. That's there's no sleight of hand there. Could I stand to lose at least 40 pounds? Most certainly. I totally agree. Definitely. Please hold my hand and then hold my beer. Because I'm going to probably not lose those 40 pounds. I'd like to. But it ain't easy, right? But I can talk
just
about
maybe trying some things.
No, I know. But you can see people who put on a show. You can see them on the news, you see them on TV, on reality TV, especially. Oh my God, reality TV is the most fictitious shit you're ever going to see. Okay? If anybody on reality TV was their authentic them, nobody would watch. Honestly. By the way, David hasn't owned a TV in over 30 years. That's because you Brits fucking tax people for owning a TV. I wouldn't own a TV either. I just own a monitor and watch it through that. Yes, Richard Simmons is dead.
Yeah.
Dr. Ruth Westheimer.
Today?
Dr. Ruth Westheimer.
Dr. Bliss is dead.
Dr. Ruth Westheimer is dead.
Oh.
She is tot. German for dead.
How do you say?
Tot.
Tot.
She is tot. So yes, Dr. Ruth. You're a cucumber. I mean, there were so many jokes when she was on. We couldn't help ourselves. Shelley Duvall died yesterday. Yeah. So I listen. I know that joke, Mr. Gunn. I have a face for radio, and I have a voice for TV. No, I know. Dude, nobody tunes on to this show to go, oh wow, look at Erik and his humidity-infused hair. Well, that looks good. Let me see if I can pull the grays out. No, then I'd be bald. Leave the gray where it is. Mr. Gunn, I can hold much beer. Okay. Tom, sometimes being authentic means letting your hair down a little.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Thank you, Don. But Tom, I love Survivor and Amazing Race.
You're allowed. You can.
Wow.
As long as you can see through what it is.
159 pounds a year for a TV license.
Dang.
That, sir, sounds like highway robbery. It just went up another 9 pounds. Okay.
Damn.
In reality, the Brits pay $159 a year in tax, and we pay monthly for subscriptions. Same scam, different wording. Yeah, but they can also get subscriptions to, they're not getting free Netflix or free Amazon.
Oh, they have to pay in addition to their tax.
Yeah, that tax is for the BBC. The BBC did a job on me, and now I am a real sickie. Guess I have to break the news.
Never heard that, but true.
No mind to lose. Lobotomy. DDT did a job on me. Ramones. I just changed it to BBC.
I was like, why does it seem familiar? Was it from Dr. Demento when we were
kids? It could have been because it is the Ramones.
Yeah.
Yes, and I will admit that I think I saw the Ramones 3 times live. I think each time with a different drummer. The drummer was interchangeable, almost like Spinal Tap. Yeah, I'm showing my age. Tom David, the thing I hated about the BBC One and BBC Two in the 80s was the programming was so boring. It's kind of like PBS, but you're forced to watch it. BBC is dreadfully woke and biased these days. I believe that you could probably say the same for most PBS. Yeah. Yes, that's $200, Mr. Gunn, to own a TV. Yearly, sir. Yearly. So
how do they know when you get rid of your TV?
They come knocking on your door. Hello. TV inspector, let's see your TV license. I don't have a TV license. And why don't you have a TV license? I don't have a TV. Huh? In other words, go screw.
I'm not paying that.
And now for something completely different. You see, if I was paying even to see reruns of that, Faulty Tower, Thin Blue Line, Mr. Bean, Blackadder,
all the good stuff.
All the good stuff. Are you being served? Are you being served again? Not as good. You know, these this is what your money would theoretically be going for, and now you're probably going to fund it on like BBC on demand or whatever they call it. Taproom PBS Public Access. Listen, this channel is basically public access. All right. Listen, we have one camera. We got one microphone. We've got co-hosts that don't get paid. I make enough money directly off. By the way, there's like links on the bottom of the screen if you want to get a Pathfinder bundle for Pathfinder 1. It's a very good value if you're willing to convert the stuff to a more usable system. Or the RuneQuest bundle. It's both Humble Bundle bundles. RuneQuest starter set for $1 and the cheapest bundle. That is unheard of. The RuneQuest is a great system. Personally, I really like it. So that's how. If I was just making money from the YouTubes, I don't know, a good month 120, bad month 40. It ain't paying the bill here. I'll tell you that much. It's not a TV. It's a monitor, and I'm monitoring my front door with it. There you go. When I was cheap, I would not pay for cable in Boston. I did like PBS for kids programming for the little ones. I'm not saying that in our office when I was a cop, my unit had a cable box, and I'm not saying that it was a special cable box or something. But one day, apparently, the cable system sent out what they refer to as a bullet.
Oh.
And then the box was bricked. And no more watching the fights.
Oh, that sucks. Yeah, I don't, just like everybody else.
I don't know who was paying for the pay-per-view. It wasn't coming out of my club dues.
Oh.
Dave, jail or $1,000 fine if you're caught. Most get the license. Who is it? TV inspector. Who is it? TV inspector. You remember where it's coming from, right, Rach?
Yes.
Who is it? TV inspector. Guy does a heart attack. Woman comes out, the owner of the bird. The parrot was saying, "Who is it?" And one's like, "Who's that?" It's like, in the original on Sesame Street. Oh, it's the plumber. He came to fix the sink. Like, all right, so that was a bad setup. Told you I do bad jokes. I'm not doing stand-up comedy here, folks. Don't. If you came here for stand-up, sit down. Tom, I remember we as a family loved the show Last of the Summer Wine, great situation comedy with dry British humor. It worked for the Verrall family in 1985.
I don't remember that.
It was British riches. Tom was a military lad.
Oh, yes. Okay.
Mr. Gunn, David, Nigel Farage should have ended the TV tax and not the EU. Oof. Oofa. Mr. Gunn, were you watching inappropriate channels while at work? No, we would have gotten a lot of trouble for that. But we were watching fights. We'd be like, oh, shit, no, the Tyson fight. All right, well, everybody rush out there and get your summonses written before the fight, and then come back here and get you Gatorade. And if it was a really good day, we'd have somebody would do up wings, come in with 100 wings for the unit, and you'd be eating wings and watching a Tyson fight. But a Tyson fight only lasted like 2 or 3 rounds, and then everybody had to go back out on patrol anyway. So I mean, the city was still making their money. Just saying. Who is it? Lancha. Oh, no, that was different.
Oh yeah, the Saturday Night Live.
Yep. They go, who's there? Landshark. Postman. Postman. Oh, okay. was stupid, but it was good.
It was cheap.
David, our new great leader, has told the BBC the license is here to stay. Ba-da, ba-da, ba. David, great comedy called The Detectorist. Check it out. I'll have to. That sounds good, actually. My nose is itching. My nose is still itching from using a fresh jalapeno off our Gardein for this morning's breakfast. So, by the way, fresh jalapeno, the smell of a fresh jalapeno cut up thin and tossed on a pan with a little oil, with the smell of fresh lemon citrus and a little vinegar, smells divine and will give you a sneezing fit for the next 30 minutes. Because that's what I had. But it tasted pretty good in the omelet. So I got to say, it was a good idea.
Yeah, it was very nice, but trying to breathe in that room was not happening.
Yeah, I know. That's why pepper spray is really made from peppers. David Thompson left letter. New leader, same as the last one. Only difference is the curtains at 10 Downing, and perhaps the official mouser.
Oh yes, the kitty that.
The kitty, it's like you
lives in there.
Is it my kitty? It's everybody's kitty, and it walks outside and gets in trouble. You want a Gardein status report? All right.
Oh.
So we got rid of the strawberries. The strawberries are petering out. We had aphids from the strawberries, so keep that in mind for the future. We have lemon basil growing.
Is that where they came from?
Yeah, they were risk for aphids. We have lemon basil growing like crazy, in addition to Thai basil, in addition to regular basil. And I think we got purple basil coming and another basil. Yeah, we got 2 more basils.
Loads of basil.
Loads of basil. The mint may have reached its end of its lifespan, or it's getting close to it, so that might have to come out. Might have to get new.
Yeah.
The big leaf, Rach. The big leaf. The big leaf thing from the bottom. The big leaf.
Oh, the chard.
The chard. I'm going to say rutabaga. It's not rutabaga.
No.
The chard still looks good. We have to harvest it. But I got other plants starting. We got chamomile coming. We've got sunflower coming.
Stevia too.
Stevia. Outside, didn't mention this. So we have
outside.
So we have one watermelon that's about not the size of my nearly fully open fist, mostly round. And I thought that's all we had coming. But I went to the other 2 plants, and the plants vines are growing everywhere. I'm actually pulling them out of the neighbor's yard over the fence. And I'm pulling, and I went, whoa, whoa, whoa. I went, hold on, I got to lean out into the blackberries to get this. I'm taking a hit. I'm taking damage. It was probably only 1 to 2 points of damage. But I'm taking damage, and I'm reaching, and sure enough, there's a small fist-like watermelon. And then I saw the start of 2 other watermelons. So we're going to have a number of watermelons, and that's exciting.
It is.
The zucchini still isn't producing yet. I don't know when it's going to.
Not sure. The flowers seem to have, died off.
So, but a lot of tomatoes were picked today. Cherry tomatoes, small beefsteak tomatoes, plum tomatoes. So, and cucumbers. Cucumbers are coming in. We picked anything that was going a little whitish. Usually that means that they're going to start losing flavor soon, even if they keep on growing. But after I picked them, gave them to my mother, and then later in the week, my game plan is to pick a bunch of cucumbers and do refrigerator pickles. Maybe cut up a jalapeno and put it. By the way, the jalapenos inside is at least 7 or 8 more jalapenos coming, plus 2 sweet peppers. The jalapenos, these are the original jalapeno plants. We got rid of the tomato plant, but the original pepper plant and the jalapeno and the sweet pepper, they don't know that they've been around for like 7, 8 months.
Yeah, they've had a resurgence.
Yeah. Tom, The Good Wife made me watch Anika on BBC America. Got into it. It's not bad for a police procedural. Mr. Gunn, you should have found some ladybugs to eat the aphids. Yeah, I got a spray. a non-chemical spray, a natural oil that apparently does away with the aphids. So, but that just all that means that when I'm picking mint or picking basil or picking whatever, I just got to make sure I rinse everything off. The mint is probably root bound. Probably. I'm gonna have to. I gotta check the roots every month. I think it's been a good month and a half, not two.
Yeah, they might be. They might be taking up the tube.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go in there and check. They are huge. They're huge, I tell you. They're huge. Oh, we also have cucumber coming on the inside too, and a mini squash. We'll see how the squash.
Oh, we do have a mini squash and a mini cucumber. Oh,
yes.
That's gonna be cute.
Well, watermelon is disgusting. A large, bad tasting cucumber. Listen,
I love watermelon.
I am not a huge watermelon fan. You're not going to see me going out and spending top dollar on watermelon. But if I grow my own, and I know what's in it, and I know it's going to be sweeter, because I grew it myself, you'll see me.
Yeah, I can't wait to see what they look like inside.
So you're going to replace the tomatoes? Yeah, but I'm not going to replace them until the fall. Why? I've got a great crop coming in the backyard.
We have loads of tomatoes.
Loads of tomatoes coming in right now.
Coming every day.
So I don't need to replace the tomatoes until that starts to peter.
Yeah.
So once that starts to peter, I'll order the plants, one or two, and that way they'll be ready to rotate in once the ones in the backyard have petered out. David, Lawn of Duty is one of the best UK cop shows about UK internal affairs types. I did my time in internal affairs or infernal affairs, depending on how you look at it. We do the work of the devil.
Aye.
The devil, I tell you. It's infernal affairs. So you know what? I think we are actually hitting the witching hour. We're going to wrap this up, folks. It's an emotional day for many of us. Could have been a lot worse. It's still pretty damn bad. And again, it's bad for the victim's family and the victim.
For everyone,
and for the country. This is not the way. This is
not a good look. This is not what we want to portray to the world.
This is not a civilized country.
No.
This is not how a civilized country acts. This is not what civilization is supposed to be. It's not what democracy is supposed to be. So, to all the fucktards out there, grow up.
Too right.
Just grow the fuck up. Stop LARPing. It ain't helping. All right, folks. I will catch you all later. Another video tomorrow. I don't think there's going to be one tonight, but another video tomorrow. I'll catch you all later.
Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.
Take good care.